Hey everyone, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. So, like last summer, I've been taking a little break from stage acting with Musical Theater Village for quite a while now, and so far this year, I've only been in 2 shows with them, which were The Wizard of Oz and Peter Pan. Anyway, for this episode, I have a very special film to talk about. I'm sure you folks remember the 1988 Roald Dahl novel, Matilda, which is about a special little girl who loves to read, and she becomes so smart that she actually gains telekinesis, and she has to deal with her neglectful parents and an abusive headmistress. Well, I still do, and I gotta say, it's been about 8 years since I blogged the 1996 film adaptation starring Mara Wilson. And while this movie is a classic, compared to the original book, it still has a couple hiccups, like the fact that it takes place in America instead of in the UK. But starting in 2010, Matilda became a stage musical with music and lyrics by Tim Minchin and a book by Dennis Kelly. Plus, back in January 2017, I got to see the show at the Segerstrom, and to be honest, I thought it was a very charming, cute, and fun play. And last fall, as soon as I heard that Musical Theater Village was going to perform Matilda during the summer of 2023, I was really excited to try out, but sadly, I failed. Not only because my audition was disastrous, but the summer was really packed with conflicts. But despite that, the film that I decided to blog today is a recent movie musical that was coincidentally streamed on Netflix last year. So, let's get started. Released to Netflix in the United States on December 25th, Christmas Day 2022, this is Roald Dahl's Matilda the Musical. Now, on for the plot of the movie. Matilda Wormwood is a little girl with big curiosity, a sharp mind, and a vivid imagination, and the worst parents in the entire world. While her parents content themselves with trashy TV and dodgy money-making schemes, she loves to lose herself in the pages of her beloved books. Where they are loud, selfish, and unkind, she is a quiet observer, thinking up small and cheeky acts of rebellion and revenge. On meeting her inspirational teacher, Miss Honey, Matilda is encouraged and begins conjuring up her own fantastical tales. Excited to attend Cruncham Hall, Matilda is surprised to find that the school is an ominous and oppressive place led by the huge and villainous Miss Agatha Trunchbull. Filled with an overwhelming sense of justice, Matilda dares to take a stand for what is right and teach Trunchbull a lesson she won't forget. So, what do I think? Well, I really enjoyed it. And to be honest, I think it sticks a lot closer to the original book. And to further explain why I love this movie, let's move on to Mustang Notes. The movie was co-produced by TriStar Pictures, Working Title Films, and the Roald Dahl Story Company. A film adaptation of the stage musical was first announced in November 2013, with Matthew Warchus and Dennis Kelly reportedly attached to return as director and writer respectively. In January 2020, the project was officially announced, and Warchus and Kelly's return was confirmed, as well as Tim Minchin, who revealed that he was returning to write new songs for the film. Christopher Nightingale, who had written background music for the stage production, was also hired to return as composer of the film's incidental score. The cast was filled out between January and April 2021, and filming took place beginning in May 2021 at Shepperton Studios in Surrey, England, with locations including Bramshill House, a grade I-listed Jacobin Manor in Hampshire for Cruncham Hall, and Denham in Buckinghamshire for scenes set in Matilda's home village. Some production is also listed to have been taking place in Ireland. The movie premiered at the BFI London Film Festival on October 5th, 2022, and was theatrically released in the United Kingdom on November 25th by Sony Pictures Releasing International, while in the United States, it received a limited theatrical release on December 9th and was available on Netflix on Christmas Day. Now, in my personal opinion, the sets for this movie are really good, and I think the cinematography is very well done. And I think it does a great job at bringing not only the original book, but also the original stage show to life. By the way, my favorite moments in this movie is the scenes where Matilda tells a story of an escapologist who falls in love and marries an acrobat who becomes horribly injured after performing a dangerous stunt and sadly dies after giving birth to a beautiful baby girl who's unfortunately mistreated by her abusive step-aunt. Also, I think the effects for Matilda's telekinesis is absolutely impressive. Plus, while it has been about 6 years since I saw the show on stage, I think the songs are absolutely charming, timeless, and catchy, with my favorites being Naughty, When I Grow Up, and Revolting Children. And I think the choreography by Ellen Kane is absolutely outstanding. And that's all I got for Mustang notes. So let's move on to the cast. Our main character, Matilda Wormwood, is played by Alicia Wurr. Like her 1996 counterpart, I find this version of Matilda to be a kind and caring little girl. She's also really sneaky when she has to teach individuals like her parents or Miss Trunchbull a lesson, whether through a certain prank or with her telekinesis. Plus, I think Alicia's portrayal is really adorable, and not only do I like her intelligence and love her reading, but I like that she has a good sense of right and wrong, and I love how she stands up for her friends and loved ones. Also, I think she makes a great storyteller, and I can totally picture her as an author in the future. Next we come to her neglectful parents, Harry and Zinnia, played by Stephen Graham and Andrea Riseborough. Like in the book and in the 1996 film, these two are not very nice people, just like Walter and Helga Willoughby from the Willoughbys, Spiker and Sponge from James and the Giant Peach, or Vernon and Petunia from Harry Potter. They mistreat Matilda, they push her away, they call her a boy sometimes, they hate her love for reading, and they rip up some of her library books. Heck, they even disregard her intelligence and her sense of right and wrong, and they're obsessed with watching television and making money. Next we come to the beautiful Jennifer Honey, played by Lashana Lynch, whom was in the James Bond movie No Time to Die, and she played Maria Rambeau in the MCU's Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and the upcoming Marvels movie, which should be in theaters this fall. Now, I really love this character, due to her being a kind and affectionate person who is kind and loving to her students and everyone around her. Also, I like that she acts as an emotional support and guardian for Matilda. Plus, I thought her backstory was not only similar to the story that Matilda was telling throughout the movie, but it was also very shocking and tragic. Another character to talk about is Miss Phelps, the mobile librarian played by Sindhu V. In my opinion, Miss Phelps seems like a pretty likable supporting character. Though she is in awe of Matilda's apparent genius, she never says anything to make Matilda feel odd or uncomfortable. Instead, she supports Matilda as she reads the library's entire children's section and then works through many English language classics such as novels by Charles Dickens, Ernest Hemingway, and Jane Austen. Plus, she encourages Matilda to keep reading and enjoying books, even when Matilda doesn't entirely understand what she's reading. Also, I like that Miss Phelps listens to Matilda whenever she tells her a certain chapter of her story of the escapologist and the acrobat. The last character to talk about is Agatha Trunchbull, the headmistress of Cruncham Hall, played by Emma Thompson, best known as Nanny McPhee, Professor Trelawney from the Harry Potter film series, Captain Amelia from Disney's Treasure Planet, Queen Eleanor from Pixar's Brave, P.L. Travers from Saving Mr. Banks, and she was in the 2017 Beauty and the Beast remake and the 2021 Cruella movie. Now, ever since my childhood, I really hated this character due to her being a harsh, violent, unstable person who terrorizes and abuses children. Not only does she lock said children in a chokey, but she also throws around Amanda Thripp because of her hatred for pigtails. She force feeds Bruce Bogtrotter, who is responsible for eating a piece of chocolate cake. She tries to break down the children during PE. And what was worse, she caused her stepsister's death in an acrobatic accident while she was still pregnant with Miss Honey. And she blames her for her sister's death. But thankfully, Trunchbull gets her comeuppance when Matilda uses her telekinesis to pretend to be a vengeful ghost of Honey's father, destroy all the chokies, and throw her out of the school. Other members of the cast include Ray Yamochi Fulker as Lavender, Winter Jarrett Glasspool as Amanda Thripp, and Charlie Hodgson Pryor as Bruce Bogtrotter. And now on to my final words. Overall, Matilda the Musical is a wonderful movie. As much as I like the 1996 version, I think this film is a lot more closer to the original book. And I'm sure Roald Dahl would agree with me if he were still alive today. The story is very engaging, relatable, and spot on. The cinematography is well done. I love the English and Irish settings. The songs in this movie range from fun to catchy. Also, I think all the actors do a marvelous performance. And watching this movie makes me want to see how my friends pull it off at Musical Theater Village. But still, if you guys want to see this movie for yourselves, look no further than Netflix. And I'm sure that you and your family will have a fun time watching it. As for my rating, I'll give it a full 100%. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to join me for my next blog. Mustang Power.
Reading is fun, 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 fun. Reading is fun for everyone. Reading is fun, 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 fun. Reading is fun for everyone. I can see, I can tell, you really read so well. I do read too. I can read all by myself. Reading the adventures of Peter Pan, reading about the powers of Roald Dahl.